Hi guys, welcome back to the Yarny Cave. My name is Brenda and this is B.Y.C. Crochet. So I have some stories for you guys. This is I'm gonna call it Monday Madness. Okay, Monday Madness, and I am going to disclose something that happened over the weekend and you guys will not believe it. But before we get started, how about a little positivity? And the title of it is You Will Always Be Okay. Being okay doesn't mean that life will be perfect, nor does it presume that everything will turn out better than before. It simply means that you will eventually make it back to that place of equilibrium. Because whatever you are currently experiencing or feeling is temporary. It will pass, as everything does. Even if things turn out differently than you expected, take some solace in knowing that you will always be okay, even if you are different than before. I like that. Things will always be okay. So I'm gonna call this Monday Madness, or just crochet and chat, whatever you want to call it. I'll crochet and chat. I'm still working on my baby blanket with my Rico yarn, and I have a good reason as to why I'm still working on it, and it's part of my story. So my mother had surgery on Thursday. She had part of her lung removed, not a big portion. I think it was like 10%. But on Friday, I was going to go visit her, and spend a few hours with her. My dad was with her, and I packed up my blanket to work on something. In the event she was sleeping or something, and I went to work. I did leave early to go be with her. And I was going through my bag. I carry a big tote into my office where I have my lunchbox and a bunch of other stuff. And I had thrown my little project bag in there. So in my office, I decide to, I'm going through my stuff, just seeing what I have and taking stuff that I don't need to leave. But in the process, I took out my project bag and left it in my office. And off I went to see my mother. As I'm parking, I look at my tote bag and realize that I left my project at the office, which, it is what it is. I'll get it on Monday. It was already Friday. I wasn't about to go back to the office just for this, so I was there to see my mother. And if you guys are familiar with Central Florida, there's traffic all the time. Her hospital is near downtown Orlando, so it was not the easiest to get to, so I wasn't about to go back to the hotel and then go back to the hospital. So anyways, I spent Friday with my mom. She wasn't doing very well. She had just had the surgery the day before. And I decide to spend the night. So I text my husband, if you're able to, can you drop off at the hospital some clothes? I knew I had left my project bag, so can you drop, I told him everything that I needed so I'd keep myself busy. Some yarn, some hooks, my little notions pouch that I case that I have with all my little doodads. Anyways, so he said sure. He packs up my stuff, sends me a picture or a little video of everything he's got packed for me to make sure everything's there. I say perfect. And then he proceeds to drive to the hospital. He tells me, I'm driving the truck and I got the trailer hooked, so I need for you to meet me downstairs. That's not a problem. I don't expect him to. I know he wanted to see my mother, but he also had the trailer and truck, and there's no way at the hospital that he was going to be able to leave the truck and trailer anywhere. And he's very cautious because, he doesn't like disconnecting the trailer unless there's another vehicle that he's going to park in front of it, only because, he's got his equipment there. So, totally understandable. So we have a tracking system where I can see where he's at. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on him so he doesn't have to wait on me. Basically, I can be there, he can drive up, I can take my bag, and he can take off. And so it was. You know, I saw he was nearing the hospital. I went downstairs, went out to the street. As he came by, he stopped really quick. I opened the truck. He gave me my tote bag, and I went into the hospital. Back to the hospital, back towards my mother's room. So, you know, you have to go through security. I go through security. Da-da-da-da-da. So I'm walking up to the... Now, this is a true story, guys. I'm walking towards the elevator, and there are a couple officers running after me, saying, ma'am, please stop. And I'm like, I kind of pause, and I'm looking around like, are they talking to me? And yes, they were talking to me. Brenda from B.Y.C. Crochet. And so the officer tells me, ma'am, is there something in that bag you did not tell us about? I'm saying no. My husband just dropped off my clothes. I put the... You guys know my Joe's totes, right? I'll show you really quick. I'm not going to turn off the recording, but just watch. I'm coming. I'm right here. You guys know my tote, that Joe's totes I had Joe tote made for me, right? So this is the tote that he drops off. So I put my tote on the floor, you know, it opens up, and I basically start going through everything that's there, the yarn that my husband brought me. We go over everything, and the toiletry, I say, could it be my hook? I show him the hook that I had because it was a very small, thin hook. He says, no, that's not it. I opened the Little Notions case that I have. So, this is my little... So I show him this hook. Nope, that's not it. I have my little dandy thing. I said, could it be these scissors? You know, these little tiny scissors that actually fit in this little thing. He goes, nope, that's not it. I take out my electric toothbrush. Nope, that's not it. We open the toiletry bag. The brush, everything. Nope, none of that. I'm like, okay. I'm at a loss. I said, I don't know what it is that you guys think I have. So this is a big tote bag. This is big, and it's got a lot of pockets. Side pockets, from this big front pocket, another side pocket, a lot of pockets inside. So what I do, I start going through the pockets, and all of a sudden, lo and behold, I feel something. And I tell the officer, I know exactly what's going on. My husband had packed up my things, and I guess in the process of rushing to get to the hospital, put his handgun in the side pocket of my tote bag and forgot to take it out of the tote bag when he got into the truck. So, of course, I didn't take it out, and I just felt it. I know exactly what it was. I tell the officer, I'm sorry. I know what you're talking about. My husband's piece is in my bag. It doesn't belong to me. My husband must have been packing my stuff, put his gun in my bag, and dropped it off. Didn't realize he left it behind. He left it there. And of course, ma'am, can you come with us? So yours truly is thinking, this is it. They're going to haul my ass to jail with all the shootings all over the place. And here I am entering a hospital with a handgun. And at that, it looks like it's being hidden. So, I called my husband, and my husband, I have him on speaker. I told him, honey, I told him, you know, not honey, I was a little bit upset. You left your piece in my bag. And he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm on my way back. I'll come get it. I said, yes, you will come get it, because I don't want no part of this. So the other officer tells me, ma'am, if you have your car keys, you can go put it in your car. I'm like, first of all, the handgun's not mine, it's my husband's. Second of all, I don't have my car keys because when I came down to get my things from my husband, I left all my IDs, everything, car keys up in my mother's room. So I can't even put the gun in my car or anything. So then the sergeant comes, and he's of course making sure that we've come to, there is some kind of basically that it is an innocent situation and that there's nothing to be calling reinforcement for, basically. And so he tells me, you need to exit the building and wait for your husband to come pick up the bag or the piece. So of course I leave the hospital. My husband of course returns, takes him a little while because by that time he was already a little bit away, and driving a truck with a trailer attached is not the easiest thing to maneuver around a downtown area with a lot of construction going on. Anyways, he gets there, I give him the bag, he takes whatever is his, and then he gives me the bag. I go back into the building, and of course now they're scrutinizing every little thing that I have in the bag just to make sure, thanks to my husband. So yours truly almost ended at 33rd Street, which is the county jail here in Orange County, Florida. And to say the least, this is the second time this has happened to me. Yes. I hate to say it, but right after 9/11, you know that was a horrific time in our country. I used to work near the airport, and I used to have to travel through the airport. The way the Orlando International Airport is, there's a south exit and a north exit, and I used to go up the south exit and exit the north exit to get to my job every day, back and forth through the airport. And after 9/11, they were doing spot checks where they would stop vehicles going through the airport. No rhyme or reason, they just went ahead and stopped cars just to kind of do a check. And one morning they stopped me. And so, you know, the officer is like, "Ma'am, pull over. We're just doing some spot checks. Do you mind if I look through your vehicle?" I'm like, "No." You know, I had a big van, an Astro van. If you're familiar, was it the Astro van? Yeah, it was an Astro van at that time. And so he proceeds to tell me, "Ma'am, do you realize you have a shotgun back here with the magazine in it?" And I went like, I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. After everything that our country has gone through, everybody's on high alert. And I said, "Officer, I'm really sorry. My husband was hunting. They went turkey hunting this past weekend. And he had my van, and he must have left all his stuff there, including the shotgun and magazine still in it." He goes, "Well, I can confiscate this weapon because everything is, you know, it's basically ready to shoot." And I said, "I do apologize." And he let me go with a warning, only because all the turkey gadgets that my husband uses for hunting were in the back of the van. Of course, when I got to my job, I gave my husband an earful, and he came to pick up his weapon and his gadgets and all his paraphernalia that had to do with turkey hunting. But this is now the second time this has happened to me. I'm getting closer and closer to going to jail thanks to my husband, so I sure hope that this is the last time that I have to go through this embarrassment and this scenario and the potential. I mean, nowadays things are really bad where, you know, you may innocently have a handgun on you and somebody may think that you're going to do something, and next thing you know, something horrific could have happened. So, yeah, that's my story. Needless to say, my mother was released from the hospital on Sunday. She's back home recuperating, still having a little bit of a difficult time because, I mean, she is older. She's 83 years old, and removing 10% of your lung is not an easy thing. So, but she is recuperating. So, yeah, that's my story, guys. No, I wasn't scared. And I guess I must have a look in my face like she's harmless, because both times the officers almost felt pity for me. Which I'm kind of glad that they felt pity versus felt defensive against me, and you know, behaved in a more defensive way where I could have been like manhandled. Imagine. No, I don't want to imagine. But imagine if I were manhandled, if they threw me on the counter, put your hands in your back. Oh my God, no. I would never. Anyways. So that's part of the reason why I never finished this, is because first this stayed in the office, they never got to the hospital. And then that sparked the, the sharing the story with you guys. So what do you think? What should I do to my husband or what should I ask him to do to make it up to me? Tell me. Not yarn related, because I got plenty of yarn. Plus, if I want a yarn, I can always buy it. It has to be something that only he could do, or something that maybe he could build for me, or something that he can he can take me somewhere. What do you guys think? But he was really sorry. He kept sending me texts apologizing, and I know he didn't do it on purpose, but I don't know. Maybe I just need to send him to the doctor and get his brain checked to see if he's forgetting things. I don't know. But he's probably trying to do so much that, I mean, I did appreciate him coming all the way to the hospital and dropping off my stuff. I did end up spending the night Tuesday and Saturday to be with my mom, and I was basically sleeping in a recliner. You guys, I'm sure many of you guys know what it is like to sleep in a hospital. You don't sleep in a hospital. You just close your eyes for 10 minutes and somebody else comes in the door to get vitals, to bring food, to get the menu, what do you want for the next meal, to pick up the trash, to give it the medication. I don't know, a nurse forgot something behind, physical therapy. It's always something. There's no time to sleep in the hospital. No time to sleep. And I think they do it on purpose so that you don't get comfortable and you want to go home. I think, you know what, I'm almost certain that that's what it is. Because I'm telling you, there is just no resting in the hospital. Anywho. So that's my story. That's my story. That's the Monday Madness story that I wanted to share with you guys today on Monday. I'm peeling, so I'm a little itchy. That's what happens to when you spend so much time in the sun, like I did when we were on vacation. But yeah. And that's it, guys. That's all I have for you. So I'm hoping that I can finish this within a few days. But I'm going to show you, I'll show you what else is on my hook, which I normally don't have two things in my hook, but since I was, this was not, the baby blanket wasn't at my reach, then I had to start another project to keep me busy. But I'll show you really quick what it is. Okay, so I am working on the In Bloom Lace Pullover by Michelle Moore, or as we know her, MJ's Off the Hook Designs. This is the name of the pattern. I would show you the picture, but I mentioned this before, the printer really, my husband already fixed it, but I'm not going to reprint it again. The instructions printed okay. Unless I have to look at it for something, I'm not going to print it again. And I'm currently working on I think this is the front panel. It's done in all one piece. It's not done in different panels putting it together. It's all one big piece. But this is a little bit of it. Now I know that I told you guys I was going to use this. And that was my intention, but I changed my mind because this particular yarn, I started making a sweater a while back, and I was actually quite done with it, and it didn't fit, and I didn't like the way it was looking. It was tight on me, and not only that, but also I didn't like the way it had turned out. And so yours truly frogged it, hence the reason it looks like this. But this is the yarn that I'm using. So I figured, let's put it to good use. It's already caked up. Let's put it to good use. So it's the Acacia from Hobbii. It is 51 acrylic, 49 cotton. It is, I guess, Acacia print version. This is the colorway. There you go. That's what I'm using. So, like I said, I had done a sweater already. So I had caked up. I frogged the entire thing, and I caked everything up. So, I'm working on my first cake, and this particular pattern, I believe, calls for like just under 900 yards. So I don't think I'm gonna need all of it, but it will give me a good reason to use it. It's a nice colorway, I think, for a sweater. Plus, if I like the pattern and I want to do it again, then I'll use one of my other yarns that are still nicely balled and haven't been touched or used at all. So, I mean, I don't want to waste yarn, you know. I don't think I'm going to waste it, but I figured I've already started using this. I've frogged it. Let's go ahead and use it in something that can be worn. So, yeah. So this is the same thing, except one is caked up and one is in a skein. Hope you like it. And I do have some unboxing to do, but that I'm going to show you another video, because I think this video is a little bit on the long side, and I don't want to take any more of your time. I just thank you guys for hanging out with me and letting me jabber on about my story, about me almost being incarcerated, and the craziness that my husband makes me go through, and the fact that this was the second time that I have been stopped and his gun or shotgun have been on me or near me, on my vehicle, in my person, in my bag, in some form of way. So, and you know what's crazy? That even though he carries all the time and he goes hunting and he has numerous, you know, he enjoys turkey hunting and target practice and stuff like that, I don't think that he's ever been stopped and had his gun on him or been questioned about it. It's happened to me, and I hate, well, I don't hate, but I dislike that whole weapons thing. I understand him, I know why he likes it, and that's his thing, but it's not my thing. And I'm the one who's gone already twice, guys. That's just not fair. Anyways, I'll stop complaining. I just thought it was quite, maybe not funny, but funny. Funny, but not funny. Yeah. No, it wasn't funny. It was a little scary, but it's funny now. Looking back, it's funny. It wasn't funny at the time that it happened. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Once again, thank you for spending your little bit of time with me. If you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. By the way, if any of my nurse girls that are there watching are watching this, yeah, I told you guys a story that night, I think. Yeah, I did tell you. Anyways, if any of the girls, because there were some nurses that I think jotted down my YouTube channel, anybody out there that was taking care of my mama this last few days, thank you. You guys did an amazing job. And I'm sure you can collaborate my story. And once again, thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Share it. Do all those wonderful things. Let's grow this channel, and bring more fun content. Well, scary content as well. But thank you guys. I love you. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're having a wonderful morning, noon, night, evening from the Yarny Cave. Peace. I love you guys. God bless. Mwah. Till next time. Hopefully I won't get stopped anymore by any cops. Bye.